Podcasty, getting nice and close.
Alright, hey guys. Yeah, KlutchKickers this last weekend. I got up there Friday night. When did you get up there? You got there same time? Friday night?
Somewhere about, I don't know. So I took a little bit of a detour through Georgia.
Right.
So.
And then when you got to Florida, you just stuck on the track in your RV?
Yeah, pretty much camped out in the RV. So we pulled up, I want to say Friday night, late Friday night.
Yeah. Brought out the old lady.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the crew and I, we actually ended up getting there early Friday. I think we were there near 10:30 or 11 a.m.
The first ones.
Yeah, we were the first people there. The gate was locked, but unlocked, so it looked locked. I hit up KlutchKickers and asked them if we could get in. They said hold up and wait. So we just set up camp. We set up the little pop-up tent and pulled out the pit bikes, and we were doing wheelies and stuff, having a good time. And they got there, we got set up, hung out for a little while, and then headed out to the Airbnb.
So that was Friday night, and then the comp started. I think I got to the track at like 9:30, I think, something like that. What's the driver's meeting was 10.
Yeah. So I ended up getting to the track late-ish. So I was scrambling the whole time in the morning, basically trying to get the car out of the trailer. Or the car was already out of the trailer. We had
to drive straight into tech.
Yeah, drove straight into tech, right out of tech, went right to the driver's meeting. Did that, and basically half my crew was going to getting food, and was running a little bit of a skeleton crew, but it was no big deal. The car was ready to go. We jumped into practice, and because I was in B group, I was the top qualifier in B group, the very top qualifier. I missed it by one car. I could have been in A. Ended up getting about 7 passes during practice, and had a great pass, actually, really one of my favorite passes of the weekend, and that was with Nate Hamilton. So I didn't even realize who it was. I just saw a 240 next to me, gave him the thumbs up, and we went, and I was just on his door the whole time, having a great time, and gave him a little love tap there at the end of that run. Ended up getting a drone shot of that, might show that now. So it's a pretty awesome experience. Pulled back into the pits and shut the car off, didn't notice anything wrong, and basically we're just sitting there waiting for qualification to start up at that point.
Yeah, so I guess we'll lead in. Me and DJ we shot media for the event, and we're chilling in one of the islands in between the track, and we're watching the cars go past and everything, and this is long delay, and they keep talking about there's this driver that is not ready, his car won't start, and we're sitting there and we're just like, the poor bastard, come all this way and don't even make it on the track. So that goes past. They had a buy run, which means one car goes past by itself, and we get finished and it's hot out there, we're burning up. We're like, I don't know, where's Thomas? He should be coming up anytime.
Good.
And we get back to the pits, and it's like, yo, when are you going up? You're like, dude, I missed my run. So.
Yeah, huge shout out to you guys for making that journey, and all my other crew that aren't here today. Got to shout out those guys out: Frank, Heather, Zach, Justin. We had DJ, Stu with Premium Fuel Magazine.
My mom.
Oh, DJ's mom made the whole trip.
Yes.
Yeah, so I went down there, and basically we had shut the car off. Earlier in the day, I'd actually been into a minor little fender bender with the Mustang.
Mr. Carnage?
Mr. Carnage.
Yeah,
at Mr.
Silver
Carnage.
Mustang, yeah.
Silver Mustang. He basically, right off the line, he told me, go ahead and give me a big gap. And I was like, okay, cool. I was like, I'll give you a gap, but then I'll reel you back in. And right off the jump, he basically just started going off track and on initiation. And I saw him decide that he was going to go off track. So at that time, I decided I too was going to go off track and just follow him. But then he changed his mind and hit the brakes. So then I hit the brakes and I slid and hit him. Very minor, no big deal. Drove the car the rest of the thing. It just dented the door and the fender. Didn't affect the alignment at all. But when we got back, apparently when I had shut the car off, stuff had shifted or something happened, and my relay was burning out that whole time. So when I went to go start the car to do my very first qualification run, the car wouldn't start. It had no.
We saw the contacts. Like one of them is. Oh, not all of them are making good contact.
No, after the fact, after we had a little bit of time to kind of figure out what had happened, we'd already missed the qualification round. We got to inspect that relay a little bit better, and we found that it had just basically shorted out a little bit. It was getting a very bad connection, sending power out to the pump. So the relay was acting as if it was working, but it wasn't sending power out. So my arc panel would normally give you a light to let you know something's wrong. That one pin, if that pin fails, it's not going to let you know. So we didn't know. We had to figure it out. And in that time, it was only 2-3 minutes long from the time we had to figure that out. I had missed the run.
They don't give you a lot of time.
They didn't give you a lot of time.
Yeah.
It's also very hard to hear back
Yeah.
there. Back in the first round, they had speakers that were working in the pits, or maybe we were just in a worse spot or something, but not all those speakers were working, so
You
we
can't
weren't
hear
hearing.
anything from the track.
Yeah.
Unless you're like close to the first corner.
I have no idea how people knew when to go because I couldn't.
A lot of them had. You know, there was like people posted up near the judges. I saw Alex had like, I'm not sure if it's a girlfriend or something. She was writing down scores of the drivers for the qualification runs. Like,
Yeah, people with radios and a spotter. I didn't actually have a spotter for this round. Nobody was really worried about spotting for me too much. I didn't think it was super necessary. But I had Zach basically. He was keeping an eye on when I needed to go out, and it would have been totally fine had my car not messed up for that 2-3 minutes.
I mean, I think communication is really hard. I mean, I didn't have any data.
Yeah.
But you just have to pay that much more close attention, and you'll know what's going on.
Yeah, we had Zach on it, and he would have got me out there at the perfect time. Because basically, we weren't trying to wait in line a whole bunch because didn't want to sit there baking, and because it's very hot down there.
Yeah.
But it just the timing didn't work out, and I missed that first qualification run. And then, you know, that's all good. You get a second chance. But the problem with that second chance is I choked. I completely choked on that run. I don't know what the heck happened on entry, and I think I was setting up for left foot braking, and I had moved my foot off the clutch and onto the brake, but then came up short. So I needed to e-brake, went to go put my foot back onto the clutch, and at that point, I don't know if my foot slipped off the clutch or, you know, I accidentally hit the brake or something, but I straightened up right there.
That was it.
That was
First
it.
corner.
That was my zero on my second run. That was the end of the weekend. At that point, I was super disappointed in myself and angry, and basically decided that I'm going to go ahead and just slam the gas pedal down to the floor.
We made sure the red limiter worked, and it worked for sure.
I wanted to see what that thing would do. So
Red limited the rest of the track.
yeah. Second gear, beat the piss out of that thing and sent it. And apparently that was my best run of the day solo. So maybe I need to drive angry more often.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. And I appreciate everybody that made the journey just to watch me crash and burn there. It's definitely, it sucks. I hate that. It's such a big letdown, and to have that happen in front of everybody, as well as just your whole crew and everyone that's been there for you the whole time, to make a journey like that, to just have to go home.
It was a good weekend.
No, we had a good time.
We had a good time. We still got to see other cold cars.
Yeah.
And you're in the competition. Like,
Yeah.
That's like the coolest part. So like, me and Stu drives. I don't drive at all, but you're in it. You're in there with FD Pro 1 cars. You drove Nate Hamilton. He was on his door. You were right there.
A lot of cool shit happened.
Your angry left foot brake rev limiter made one of the best pictures of the day. So.
You gotta drive angry.
Yeah.
You gotta drive angry.
What picture is that? Are you talking about?
So I sent you 2 pictures of you in that last corner, and you know, with like the column of smoke behind you. Like,
so Molinos are good for that. They are very smoky. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see if I ever find out. I've got my 2 Valenos over there. they don't know when they're gonna get destroyed.
Gotta go drifting. So yeah, of course, other people we saw at the event, we got to shout out Drift HQ. Those dudes are one of my sponsors. They're awesome. I saw the Speed Shop guys with their
Spark Speed Shop.
They had their simulator.
Yeah, Fanatec. Yeah.
The best setup simulator that I've ever used so far.
Oh, you got it?
I'm selling one.
Yeah.
Someone buy mine.
Yeah, DJ's selling his. Check it out. He'll have a for sale ad up here.
I met Micah Diaz.
There it is.
He's an awesome driver that I watch on YouTube. Also, Taylor Ray was there. A lot of folks like him. Adam LZ was there.
Everyone knows him.
Oh yeah, I love me some Taylor Ray. We got a tandem with him one day. We haven't had it happen yet. The only time I've ever tandem with him, he was in the 350Z. So I would need to tandem with him with the Miata for sure.
I met this 17-year-old Ryan. I think his last name is Ace Fadu, something like that. He's an animal.
Ryan.
Yeah, 350Z. It was gray with a carbon hood. Apparently he battled Kevin Lawrence from Juka Racing again last time too.
Awesome.
Top 32. Like, there's a lot of good drivers, a lot of cool people. Tyler with a beard. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know.
There was a full 64 cars that showed up. So it was a full field, sold out, and honestly, I mean, with that being said, they ran the event pretty well. I know we talked a little bit of stuff about like the speakers and all that, but it's obviously minor compared to the entire scale of running an event like that over a whole weekend.
Yeah,
very
a lot of people. Yep.
Yeah.
So they did a great job. I definitely always recommend Clutch Kickers to people. As long as you can tandem, you can go to Clutch Kickers and you can run with the pros and you can have a great time.
The actual pros, yes.
Yeah, the actual pros, the top dogs in the U.S.
Yeah. Let's talk about the payout. I mean, it's $20,000 each round, $100K for the whole year. So we're going on round 4. I think that's July 11 and July 12.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to get this guy. Let's see. You trying to get someone to sponsor you?
I haven't fully committed to that. I'm working on some sponsorship stuff to see if I can get somebody to basically help pay for getting down there, because I've gone down to Clutch Kickers now 3 times, 2 comp events and 1 fun event, and those trips add up. The actual drifting.
And you had a hard time with the first 2 trips?
Oh yeah, my original trip down there had issues. Basically, oh no, that was for the fun event. So my trip down with the fun event was just chock full of issues. My trailer bearing failed and destroyed the actual axle. I had to rig that together. Then I had a blowout. Then I had the drive shaft fail on the truck on the way home, and it was just problem after problem. That event cost me more than going down for competition, and I didn't even pay for tires on that fun event. So yeah, just getting down there is a lot of work. It can cost a lot of money.
It's 15 hours for person just driving a regular car.
15 hours.
But he drives a truck and trailer with tools.
60 miles an hour.
yeah, he had a problem coming down too.
Yeah, we'll be at, we'll be cruising in the high 60s, sometimes the low 70s, but the truck and trailer doesn't, the faster you go, the more likely that thing is to break. So it's just about getting there. I'd rather go a little slower and not break than go faster and break and have to fix it and then get back on the road, especially if that happens like during the night or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. I'm probably the biggest car enthusiast out of this group. Thomas doesn't give a crap. But I like grassroots style events. This is a little bit different, but I like grassroots events because of the variety of cars that you see. It's not everything just LS swapped 240s. So, some of the cars that I appreciated, oddly enough, there was a 1200 horsepower custom LS swapped E46, which was a former FD car. There's a lot of former FD cars there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's always cool to see former FD cars. My favorite builds that I saw there was the 50 States of Drift E30, which was an RB maybe 26 swapped E30.
Purple.
Beautiful body kit, purple. Unfortunately, he didn't make it to the competition, so I don't really know what happened. His car just disappeared. We couldn't find him in the pits or anything.
He probably had problems.
Maybe he had issues and DNQ'd and decided to head out.
Yeah, he just, before the competition started, he was nowhere to be found. So, unfortunately, at least we did get to see that car drift. I didn't get any good pictures of it drifting. Another car that was really clean was the one that Thomas bumped tires with, the purple rainbow-colored
it was a hatch,
240 SX.
Hatch and then S14 front end.
Yeah, with the, what do they call it? The Cougar front end.
Yep.
The S14 Cougar front end.
Super rare.
Yeah, and really, really clean builds. And then the strangest car that we saw there was a really average looking S14 240 SX.
No panels.
No, it had panels on it. It was just like they pulled the wrap off it. Like it had no paint. But you look a little bit closer and it has a V12 in it. And you're like, well, what V12 is that? It's a BMW V12.
Oh wow.
And then it's turbocharged.
Oh.
So it's like a really, really wild card to see there. And he was ripping pretty good, but they had some mechanical issues too. And then
he did not qualify either.
Yeah, and then after we talked to those guys in the pits, it was really a miracle that car was even running. But it's still props for them for bringing it out, showing that it can be done. Just really cool. Those are the type of things that I like to see when I go to drift events.
Stu likes the unique stuff.
Yes.
I gotta give a big shout out to my buddy over at Jack Motorsports, Alex. He brought out his FRS. He ended up getting further than me, but he got knocked out in his first battle. I didn't qualify, so he did better than I did. But yeah, he was with me when we showed up early. Actually, he was the second one to arrive. We were the first. He was the second, and then we all just set up, drank some beers with the tent, and hung out for a few hours, and had a good time. I got to definitely do huge shout outs to all the media guys that helped me. I mean, I was getting pictures from everybody basically. You know, DJ, Stewart with Premium Fuel. We've got Rob Goodwin. That dude's definitely been taking care of me a whole ton. Carlos sent me some stuff.
Yeah, Carlos Mongui.
Yeah, Trent
Castell. There was Zach Merritt Photography as well.
Yep.
I remember Ten Drift. He does podcasts as well. He's from Tennessee.
Yeah.
And he was super cool.
Yeah.
Just posted up at that one spot. He was there for like 5 hours.
In that one spot?
That one spot did not leave.
Yeah,
like
wow.
that last island, he was just there
Uh-huh.
and just posted. So respect to him.
Thank
Rob Goodwin took 11,000 photos the first
Oh, my
day.
goodness.
Live streamed the whole event. Dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Rob Goodwin.
Yeah, that's Rob
Oh,
Goodwin.
okay.
Yeah,
Cool
so-
dude. Okay, yeah.
The Clutch Kickers, there, you know, props to them for doing a great job, but their live stream went down, and Rob was live streaming, and he said once that happened, his views went up like 300 people.
No, people want to see.
Yeah, they want to see it,
Yeah.
and not only did it go up 300 people, but he had a total view count just by the next day. He showed me on that video, 25,000 people reached.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's people out there that want to watch the live thing. So if you guys have a good signal and a good camera out there, and you can pop up some more live feeds, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, people want to see what it's like to be there. They don't want to drive 15 hours, but they'll tune in on their phone real quick.
Yeah.
Like, what are they doing? Oh,
Yeah.
cool, they're in Florida.
So if you want to watch drifting and you don't want to go to the event, first of all, please come to the events because
Yeah,
we
that's
the
the best
drivers,
way.
we like to meet you guys
Oh, yeah.
and we want to give you rides, most of us. And you can interact with us. Drift events are unique, but we realize that most of these things are remote. They're out in the middle of nowhere, and not everybody wants to go to these things. So if you want to see drifting happen, you got to look out for these live feeds. So definitely a huge shout out to Rob Goodwin for providing those live feeds everywhere he goes. And you got to be able to look out and find those things. And if you're a drift organizer and you happen to be watching this video, live feeds, please get somebody to live feed your events because that makes such a huge difference.
Oh, it helps a lot. I mean, Rob's working on, at Seneca, he's telling me that he's working on getting them, putting in 5G to cover the entire track, actually the entire campus out there. So once he does that, I mean, just imagine having 5G up on the top of that hill,
Well, not only that, but
You could live feed your drone footage almost.
well, right. So that's what I was gonna say. So drift racing has kind of opened up a niche for drone piloting. Is where drone piloting is open all kind of new possibilities, but they kind of go hand in hand because there's no way that you can get the angles that you get with drones. So and there's ways to stream obviously from these racing drones. So there's definitely a huge vacuum, huge potential there for media coverage as far as live streaming and live drone feed streaming. So if you've got a capability to produce that and
hit us up. We will help you get to the event.
Yes.
We might not pay for you to come out and shoot an event, but we will get you the knowledge and we will tell you how to get there. If I can pick you up on the way down to the track or something, I'll do that. I'm willing to scratch your back if you want to come out and have a good time and produce some media for me and really anybody else at the track, honestly, too. All these guys, most of these guys out there are trying to make it just like you are, just like I am, and we got to work together and make sure we grow together and build this thing.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the sponsors.
We forgot Barn Built. Huge shout out to the Barn Built guys. Those dudes are awesome. Basically, they got your back. They're chill. They're cool people.
They had the sickest ride along with their golf cart. We did some wheelies.
All the wheelies.
Yeah.
So many wheelies were
Track
had
wheelies.
over the weekend. Yes. So at the drift event, there's more than just drifting. You got to entertain yourself when you lose sometimes. So we went ahead and we went over to the drag strip, which was just behind the pits.
With permission.
With permission there, and basically just took the pit bikes and went about 15 miles an hour on one wheel. Took that thing all the way down to the end. The night was getting wrapped up. People were leaving to go back to their hotels and things like that. But you got to stay for that after party. That Saturday night, man, can be awesome. Where you make a lot of friends, a lot of good connections, and just have a really good time. The Barn Built dudes were wheeling their golf cart. Basically, they got like 4 or 5 people on this thing. People standing off the back and like pulling as it goes, and they wheelie that thing.
Yeah.
Man, they were steering it by the end.
Dude,
of it.
I was there. I was just like, I just sent it. I was like, just leaning. I'm like, go. And then there was, I think it was, I'm not sure if he was a Dima Britsky or a Wadman, but there was this kid, and I was like, just do it, dude. Just let it go. Just let it happen. And he was having fun too.
And then there was the impromptu pit bike race.
Yeah.
On the track. We
Yep.
did not have permission. We did get kicked out.
Yep.
But we did do it, and it was fun.
Oh yeah.
Tons of fun stuff happens, at night after a drift.
You gotta hang out. Make sure.
When I drove back, right? I dropped my mom off at the hotel. I drove back, and I drove through the track. And when I drive by, there's 3 people just laying down on the ground. It was Wadman, it was Brian Wadman, and some of his friends. I'm like, what are you guys doing? I just had I just let it happen. There's no answer that they can give me.
Two-day drift events are really probably some of the most fun events that you can go to. That's why Team Vibes is one that I really appreciate. You show up drifting, first day, whatever.
Shout out to Swingset LLC.
Yeah, Swingset LLC, Jason Richardson and his crew. But everything shuts down at night. Obviously, you can't drift. You just kind of walk around.
Yeah.
People are working on their cars. Like some people are like desperately working on their cars.
There was an engine swap, diff swap.
Exactly.
You saw everything.
You'll see the craziest stuff. One night after Team Vibes, these guys in an 836 actually blew their engine. They found somebody in the area with an engine block for a BMW. They drove out, they picked up the engine block, and they actually worked all night and swapped the engine. No, built an engine and then swapped the engine and had their car ready to drift the next day.
Wow.
And the thing is, it's crazy because you don't even see professional teams, working to that level of, I almost want to call it desperation. I mean, professional teams come with a spare engine and they can slap that thing in, but
they're prepared.
These folks actually sourced an engine, built it, swapped it in, and not only do you see, there's always going to be one of those guys out there. But then, at night, there transmission swaps will be happening, like you said, diff swaps, various troubleshooting.
I pulled a trans and had to put it back in overnight at a competition.
Right.
That's happened to me. I was gonna say, in that respect, a lot of times when that type of thing happens to somebody and they are in that position of desperation, the community, people will notice that and people will come together and they'll just work on your stuff for free.
They respect.
They will help you get back on track because you're there and you're about it and you want to drift. And they know that feeling.
Exactly.
And instead of them going out and partying and maybe drinking, they might drink a little bit and put some hours in onto your car and make sure you can get back on the track. I don't know of any other competitions where people would be doing that type of stuff.
Absolutely not. You won't ever see that outside of the drift community. So that's one thing that's really cool. But
I've been helped multiple times by competitive teams, even right after beating them.
Yep.
Talking about insane ways. I had just beaten them and then they were helping me replace my tires so that I could keep going. Yeah.
Because we all just want to see shredding happen.
Yeah.
Regardless who it is, we just want shredding to happen.
Yeah, dude. We'll pull together and we'll make it happen. It's cool stuff happening out there.
But besides that, besides the guys that are frantically trying to fix broken stuff, it's just really good time to go out and meet people.
Oh, of course, networking. Yeah. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
And see people's trailers. We got to take a tour of a couple of people's trailers.
Oh yeah, Alex.
Yeah. Alex
Schlegel with Drift HQ. Big shout out to him. I've known him for years as well, maybe 5-6 years at this point. I met him down back in the day when I was hanging out with Freddie and we were drifting his car at Bronson Speedway.
His S14 with the vert.
Yeah, the vert.
Sick.
You can just make so many friends out there and so many connections that it's worth to go to these events, even if you're going to not qualify. I've made.
Even if you're going to hang out.
If you're just going to hang out, if you're going as a spectator, if you're going as a media guy, if you're going as a spectator that has a camera and you just want to figure this stuff out, man, just get there, go to the track, talk to people, make friends. I mean, there's so many opportunities out there. That's kind of why I'm pushing this so hard right now. I'm basically trying to phase out of my normal day-to-day job, and I want to see what's out there in the community as far as opportunities and work or growth or making cool videos or whatever. I want to see what's up. So hit me up.
I mean, that's part of why I went to Florida too. I mean, there were other drift events I could have went to that weekend around here, closer for sure, and saved me time. And
no, they weren't.
No, they weren't. But like I didn't know of them previously. Like I was already committed to going, so I'm like. When I heard about them, I didn't even think because I know that I'm not going to see the same types of cars over there, the same types of drivers, as far as skill level goes, and just just range. You know, there's Pro-Am, you know, there's FD Pro 1 cars there, at least 2, 3. And then there's grassroots guys. There was a 17-year-old drifting, you know, 1,000 horsepower Juker Racing S14. Like, it's...
The range of drivers and cars and people that you get at this event is awesome. I cannot wait until more series like this pop up around the country.
It's going to happen.
It is. I think I'm already starting to see it. I mean, the East Coast Bash guys, Club Loose guys, they're going to be putting on a mini comp here. They're working with US Drift. They're going to work in conjunction with US Drift to make that happen. So I think they're talking about at least a $4,000 prize, and it may go up depending on the types of driver turnout that they get, which I think is going to be pretty big because they're not running FD there now when they were planning on it, which means they're not going to have like the Pro Bro Down and stuff like that. But this comp is going to bring out some big cars, and this is going to be the best opportunity to get on this track. It's a brand new setup at a competitive level, and hopefully we get the same type of vibe at Club Loose competition as we were getting at KlutchKickers. It's just a fantastic vibe. The only complaint I had about the entire thing really was the amount of seat time for people that didn't qualify like myself. I only got 7 runs for the whole weekend, and that's just nothing. I just have so much pent up energy from wanting to get back out on track and drift more at this event.
But that's competition though.
It is competition. It is competition, but you know that's Pro-Am, that's Pro 1, that's Pro 2 competition. Yeah. This is I want a grassroots competition. I want banging doors. I want media. I want people that want to go out there and break their shit like me. So you know we can have some FD cars out there. Maybe we can figure out a way to do a you know an end of the day just open party drift. I mean all those dudes they cut out at 5. Yeah. You know the after party at the hotel's probably great. I haven't gone. Personally, I think the after party during the event at the track is probably your best bet for networking. People are leaving on Sunday. You know, put a 2-3 hour window there where people can just get all their frustration out from the weekend, break their stuff, get some awesome shots, and leave there just ready to create and come right back and do it again.
Yeah. I think a nicer balance between the two. I think there's so many cars, 60 cars, and we have to do qualifying, everyone has to do practice, everyone has to do top 64 by the end of the day.
Hey, they were on schedule. They were on schedule, and it happened. They got everything to work. You know, they may have had to cut out some qualification runs because people missed it by a minute, but what are you going to do? So a couple of runs at the end of the day, I think would not be a bad idea.
I'm all for it.
Dude, man,
I want to see all these cars.
No, better than that. And end of the day, hot laps.
Hot laps. Yes. End of the day, hot laps.
Finish your tires.
Full send. Because that track they literally designed that track to hot lap. When you go down there on the fun day, they're not sending cars like that. They wait for the group to open up and for a couple of cars to get off the track, and then they send you, and you get on there and you get off when you're done.
Practice should be hot lapping. Because they already have, it's already a competition. Everyone there is, you know, at least you're in the money at some point, right? So you just gotta, you might as well let them practice as much as they can. I mean, that's the one thing that separates a lot of these drivers from each other is because some of them just have a lot more seat time where they just have a lot more crew that they don't have to worry about anything but the driving, you know? So, yeah.
I could definitely see more seat time there. I want more of KlutchKickers, not less.
So what would make drifting better would be more drifting.
Right.
More drifting. Drifting is better when you drift more.
Yes,
absolutely.
I agree. Yeah. Do more of it.
Yeah, even if it is a comp, you know, that is a fair point. You need to. I think the most important thing is getting these people to get better. So seat time.
Grow those people that are coming out on the grassroots level that are competing against these FD guys instead of kicking them out after 6 passes. You know. This is not supposed to be another Pro-Am feeder series. This is supposed to be a fun money series. Fun first, money second.
Well, I guess just to reinforce your point. So for somebody like me who's not necessarily ready for competition, I would not bring my car to that event. Now, nothing against the event. I love the event, and I would go to another one if it wasn't 15 hours from me. But the main thing is I would not bring my car to that event because I know that I'm not going to really get to drive.
Right.
But if I knew that there was an opportunity for me to drive more after I crap out and get eliminated, I might think about it a little bit more.
Yeah. So, now, they may not have to worry about that because they've been selling out, so it might not be their problem. We'll see. But You know,
Somebody else will do it, though.
If the series outgrows me and drivers like you, I think that just means that there is again another niche that can be filled by someone who's willing to do an event that is big money payout, big cars, lots, and I mean lots of seat time. Okay, this needs to be a party with money that you can win, and it would just, I mean, it just would grow from there. Having the focus be on having a great time first,
Yes.
and the amount of hype that generates around that is just, it's a driver's event. I want big drivers events.
Because you're a driver.
Because I'm a driver. And it's a media event too.
For sure.
Big media. The more cars are out there on the track, the more opportunities you get to get better
networking
shots.
and just meeting people from around, you know, not even just the United States, the world, honestly. Like I met, I think it was Jorge. Jorge was from Puerto Rico, and he showed me an old like Toyota wagon he was drifting. Like it was slow as shit, but you know, I was like, that car's cool because I've never seen anything like that. I probably never will. Like. So, yeah.
Well, guys, this is kind of the end of our second set here, episode 2. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. If you liked what you saw, give us a thumbs up, comment, share that video, and come back for more. This is Thomas Miata signing off. And I got to give a huge shout out to my buddy Freddie. He was there when we had the issue with the relay. That thing was just, it was burnt up. I gave him a call. He literally came running. So huge shout out to Freddie. Thank you very much. I can't believe we didn't do that while we were all sitting down.